Bonjour à tous and welcome to Learn French with Vincent, and this is Unité 10, leçon L. And in this lesson we'll see together how to construct these structures or sentences when you want to start with if. If in French it's si. Okay, so les structures avec si. So let's start now. The first option we'll have is if we want to express la possibilité. The second one, le désir, and the last one, le regret. Okay, so possibilité, possibility, désir, desire, and then regret, regret. And so we'll start with la possibilité. So if we want to express this possibilité thing, the first option we'll have is si, and it will be constructed with the présent, and it will be followed by le futur. Okay, so let's have an example here. Si tu viens à la maison, okay, venir is to come, à la maison, at home, nous ferons, so that's the future form of faire, so we will do, un gâteau, a cake. Okay, si tu viens à la maison, nous ferons un gâteau. All right, so that's the, well, first, construction that we could have, and in that case it's si tu viens à la maison, so it's a possibility, nous ferons un gâteau. Second example, si elle achète une voiture, acheter is to buy, une voiture, a car, nous partirons en vacances avec elle. Partir here, okay, to leave, and then you've got the future form, we will leave en vacances, in vacation, on the holidays, avec elle, with her. Okay, so you can see that in that case, you've got first here the present form, and it's followed by the future form. Okay, so this is quite easy to make. Okay, remember, si plus présent, then the future. We've got a second possibility if we want to express this idea, and it's si plus le présent, followed by l'impératif. Let's have a look now. The first one. Si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas. Okay, and it's quite common to use this structure. So, si vous avez des questions, so avoir is to have. If you have des questions, some questions, n'hésitez pas, don't hesitate. Okay, and you can see that in that structure, well, we've got si, and then we've got the present form, and it's followed by l'impératif. Okay? Second example, si vous êtes pressé, okay, être, to be, and then pressé, in a hurry. Si vous êtes pressé, prenez un taxi. And here you get prenez, prendre, to take. Un taxi, a cab. Si vous êtes pressé, prenez un taxi. All right? So remember, it would be possible to use this si and then the present form, and it's followed by l'impératif. Okay? So keep in mind, if we want to express this possibility thing, the first one, si, and then the present form followed by the future, or si, and then the present form followed by l'impératif. Second category, if you want to express the desire, le désir. And then normally, we will use si avec l'imparfait, and it should be followed by le conditionnel présent. Okay? Donc si plus imparfait and then conditionnel présent. Let's take one example here. Si je gagnais au loto, je ferais le tour du monde. Si je gagnais, gagner is to win, au loto, je ferais, it's the conditional form of to do, faire, okay, so I would do, okay, le tour du monde. Okay, so I would travel around the world if you want, but then in French we would use this, je ferais le tour du monde. Okay, and then the idea is that here it's a desire, it's something that you would like to do, okay, but maybe it would happen, but you're not sure about that. Okay, so si je gagnais au loto, je ferais le tour du monde. And then the second example, si elle pouvait, elle prendrait une semaine de vacances. Okay, so here you've got this pouvoir form, can, and it's at the imparfait form, and it's followed by the conditionnel présent. Prendre, to take, okay. Une semaine, 1 week, de vacances, vacation, okay, holiday. So if she could, she would take 1 week off if you want, okay, or vacation week. But then in French, remember that we will construct this sentence first with si, and it should be followed by l'imparfait, and that's the rule. Then after that, you will put this conditionnel présent form. Okay, so this is normally the tricky construction, because in many cases students will start to make this si, and then as in it's the case in many languages, they would put this first the conditionnel présent, and then it would be followed by the conditionnel présent. But no, in French, keep in mind that si, then you'll put this imparfait form, je gagnais, elle pouvait, and after that you will put this conditionnel présent, je ferai, elle prendrait. Okay, and the last one, le regret. And only if we want to express this regret concept, then we will start with si, and it should be followed by le plus que parfait, and after that you will put hop, conditionnel passé. So this structure is really when you regret something. So it's over now. It's not possible to change anything because it's in the past, okay? But then, let's see one example. Si j'avais eu le temps, j'aurais pris un café. Okay, and the main concept in that, with that structure, is that it's over, so it's not possible, so you just regret that. Si j'avais eu le temps, okay, so if you can spot this thing, it's avoir, and it's at the, sorry, plus que parfait form, okay. Si j'avais eu le temps, j'aurais pris, here it's prendre, to take, and if you have a look, it's at the conditionnel passé form, un café. Okay, let's see the second example. Si vous aviez vu le film, vous auriez pleuré. Okay, so here you have voir, okay, and it's the plus que parfait form. Vous auriez pleuré. Here you get pleurer, okay, to cry, and it's at the conditionnel passé form. Okay, so that's the, well, classic structure that you can use if you want to express regrets, okay, with this if structure. Okay, well, that's it. If you want more videos, then youtube.com/imagier, and the website imagier.net is waiting for you. Bye bye. Bonjour à tous and welcome to Learn French with Vincent, and this is Unité 8, leçon E. And in this lesson we'll discover together l'imparfait. So we saw previously le passé composé, so this past tense that we use quite often, and this is the second one, so l'imparfait. And in this video we'll see together the first part, l'utilisation, so when do we use l'imparfait. Okay, and then the second part will be la formation. So how do we build, how do we construct this imparfait form? Okay, so, but then let's focus now on l'utilisation. So when do we use l'imparfait? And then the first situation when we will use l'imparfait will be if you want to describe something in the past. Une description dans le passé. Okay, so if you want to describe something in the past, like in this example here, la pièce, the room, était, so that's the verb here. The verb is to be, okay, and it's the imperfect form, était, grande, big, et sombre, dark. Okay, so in that case, you want to describe the room, then you should use l'imparfait. Second situation, une habitude dans le passé. So a habit, something that you are used to do in the past, okay, and the example is je partais, partir is to leave, okay, and it's the imperfect form here, le matin, the morning, à 8 heures. Okay, so in that case you want to say that it's an habit, something that you do in the past, then you should use l'imparfait, okay. Other situation when you will need to use l'imparfait, une répétition dans le passé. Okay, so répétition, You understand? Something that repeats itself. Dans le passé, the example here, nous allions tous les soirs au restaurant. Okay? So, aller is to go. Tous les soirs, okay? So, every evening, au restaurant. All right? So, something that you do and that repeats itself in the past. And then, if you want to say something that lasts, durer is to last, in the past, dans le passé, then in that case, this sentence is quite interesting because I wanted to make the difference between the use of the imperfect here, okay, and then here you've got the passé composé form, all right. So je regardais la télé, so la télévision, all right. So in that case, you tend to use, of course, l'imparfait because it lasts a while when you watch TV. So if it's a movie or something like that. When tu as appelé, okay? So appeler is to call on the phone, for instance, okay? So in that case, you want to make the difference between something that happens and it's an action. So tu as appelé, okay? And then here you use l'imparfait, well, because it lasts longer. Okay, so je regardais la télé quand tu as appelé. All right? And then we've got another structure. So if you want to insist on the fact that something lasts and then something continues, then we've got this structure. Être, so it's to be, être en train de, okay? And then you will put l'infinitive form after that, so the basic form. All right? So an example here as well. So I wanted to make the difference as well with, between the passé composé form here. Je n'ai pas répondu. Répondre is to answer, okay? Car, because, j'étais en train de faire mes devoirs, okay? So faire mes devoirs, to do my homework, okay? And then in that case, you use this structure, j'étais en train de, because you want to say that, well, it lasts, okay? It's quite long. It's not something that will take 1 minute or 2 minutes, but it's longer than that, okay? So that's the reason why we use this j'étais en train de faire, so était en train de, as we saw here, okay? So you will have to use this verb être, okay? But then at the imparfait form, of course, okay? So, and then one thing that you should keep in mind is that être, so to be, croire, to believe, penser, to think, savoir, to know, are often, and it's quite important, souvent, often, so it's not always, okay, because it's not possible to say always, especially if you're talking about French grammar, okay, but often you use them at l'imparfait form, okay. Now let's see how to construct this imparfait, okay. So I've been taking some verbs from the first group and then the second and the third group, okay. If you remember, we've got 3 groups of verbs in French. So the first one, regarder, so is to watch, okay. And then I've been putting this nous form at the present. For a good reason, you will see why a bit later. So you should know the present form of regarder, and it goes like nous regardons, so that's the present form, nous regardons, okay. For the second group, I've been taking finir, finir to finish, to end, okay. Same thing, you will put this nous form at the present, nous finissons, okay. And then for the third group of verbs, I took prendre. Prendre is to take, okay? And it goes like nous prenons. All right? So nous regardons, nous finissons, nous prenons. So the reason why I wanted you to see the nous form is just because that's the form we will use to construct the imparfait. Okay? So the thing will be to take away the ending of nous. And the ending of nous, it's ONS, like you saw here, here, and here. So the idea is that this ending, you will take it away. Okay? Then, that's the thing we will keep. Regarde, like that, without the ending for nous. finissent without the ending for nous, and then prennent without the ending. Okay? And after that, you will add the endings for l'imparfait. And they will be like for je, AIS, for tu, AIS, for il or elle, AIT, for nous, IONS, for vous, IEZ, and for il, elle at the plural, AIENT. Alright, so now if you, or if we talk about the pronunciation, the good thing is that this will be pronounced E, this will be pronounced E, obviously because you write it the same way. This will be pronounced E as well. So final S and final T are not pronounced, and this is pronounced the same way. And the good news is that this form, A-I-E-N-T, is pronounced E as well. Okay, so we've got E here, E, and then E. Okay, so that's quite easy to produce. I mean, it's not normally, it's not a big difficulty for the students to make this E sound. Okay, and then for nous, it will be, so if you remember correctly, so final S is not pronounced here. Okay, and then this O-N, so it's a nasal and it goes in your nose and it goes like on. All right, so you don't hear any N, so it's really on. Okay, when you add this I before, okay, you will get the y sound. So you get yon, yon, that's the full form, okay, yon. And then ye here, okay, so yon, ye, all right, so now je regarde, and then so that's the full form that you will have, and then you will pronounce it je regardais. All right, so if we have the example for finir, it was finisse. Remember this form that we got from the nous form of the present. Okay, so finisse, and then you add je finissais. All right, and then the last verb we had was prendre, if I remember correctly. Yes, and it was prenne. Okay, the form that we got when we took away this ONS ending from the present. Okay, so prenne, and then you add your ending je prenais. Okay, so let's see how it goes for all the forms. So je regardais, so it's regarder, to watch. Tu regardais, il regardait, elle regardait, nous regardions, vous regardiez, il regardait, elle regardait. Okay, so remember, regardait, 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 and then as well, regardait. And after that, you've got this ion, as I said, regardions, and then ier, regardiez. All right, let's see finir now. Je finissais, tu finissais, il finissait, elle finissait, nous finissions, vous finissiez, il finissait, elle finissait. Okay, so same thing here. Have a look. Finissait, 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 same form. And then finissait here, same form. I mean phonetically, okay? And then ion, finissions, and then finissiez. All right? And the last verb we had with to take, prendre. Je prenais, tu prenais, il prenait, elle prenait, nous prenions, vous preniez, il prenait, elle prenait. Okay? So remember that in that case you will have to really pronounce the like a prenait. All right? So same thing here, final S not pronounced. Je prenais, tu prenais, il prenait, final T not pronounced, so the same form, okay? And then plural, as I said, prenait as well, okay? And here, prenions, preniez. Okay? And then of course, avoir and être can be in some cases quite tricky. So that's the reason why we'll take a few minutes to watch or to have a look at them. The first one, avoir, and well, it's not that tricky at all because it goes like that. J'avais, tu avais, il avait, elle avait, nous avions, vous aviez, ils avaient, elles avaient. So it is quite easy. Honestly, it is quite easy. Just try to remember, especially if you want to use it only orally, then it's quite easy because it's avait, and avait, remember, okay? So j'avais, final S not pronounced. Tu avais. Il avait, final T not pronounced. Nous avions, let's make this beautiful liaison here. Nous avions, okay? Vous aviez, same thing here, a little liaison. Ils avaient. Elles avaient, okay? And then let's have a look at être. J'étais, tu étais, il était, elle était, nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient, elles étaient. Okay? Same thing, not that difficult at all, and especially if you want to pronounce it, it's not really difficult. J'étais, okay? Remember, here we've got accent aigu, so it goes like et, all right? J'étais. Okay, tu étais, il était, elle était, nous étions, little liaison here to make it more beautiful, nous étions, okay, final S not pronounced, remember, vous étiez, same thing here, little liaison, and then ils étaient, liaison as well, elles étaient, alright? That was it for l'imparfait. If you're not sure or if you've got few doubts again, don't be afraid to watch the video one more time. So this is the channel here, youtube.com/imagier if you want more videos. And then the website imagier.net. Don't be afraid to send me a message. Tell me what you think about the video. Okay? Have a great day. Bye bye. Bonjour à tous and welcome to Learn French with Vincent. This is Unité 7, leçon F. And in this lesson, we'll see a really important thing, and it's le conditionnel présent. So basically the conditionnel is, as in English, this conditional form, so would, could, okay? But of course, as in English, we've got different tenses for that. And the first one that we will see, so the more classic tense that we usually use, when we talk about the conditionnel, it's the present form. Okay, so let's start now. Le conditionnel présent. So in this lesson, we'll see first la formation, so the way to build it, to make it, and then, of course, l'emploi, so when you should use this conditionnel présent form, okay? So let's first start, if that's okay with you, with the formation, the way to make it. So you'll see that it's quite easy in a way, and normally that's the reason why we introduce it right after the future tense. So if you didn't see the video regarding the future tense, I definitely advise you to do it because it will be more clear for you. So it's Unit 6, I don't remember the lesson, but check Unit 6, and then le futur, and you'll find it, okay? Because the way we construct this conditionnel présent is the same way that we construct the future, okay? The only difference will be the endings, all right? So let's take the first example that we've got here. Parler belongs to the first group of verbs. Remember, we've got 3 in French. And the first group of verb is ending with er, like here. Okay? So these verbs are regular. So that's a good news, and normally that's the reason why we start with them. So you don't have to change your verb. So parler is like that. You will keep it like that, and based on this form, after that you will add the endings, okay? And for je, the ending will be AIS, okay? So you don't need to modify your infinitive form. The basic form is like that, it goes there, and right after you just add the ending AIS, and you get je parlerai, all right? So it's quite simple. Second group, so verbs ending with ER. Be careful, not all the verbs ending with ER, but a quite decent amount of them belongs to the second group, but then still it will be quite easy because it is exactly the same way. You don't modify your infinitive form, you just keep it like that, all right? And after that, you add your ending. Je finirai. So A-I-S. Je finirai. All right, so it's quite easy. You keep your basic form, your infinitive form, and right after, you just put the ending. Okay? For the third group of verbs, so of course, we will have some exceptions. So we'll see that a bit later in this lesson. But still, the main rule is if it's ending like lire, lire to read, okay, with this well, the idea is that you will take this away, as we quite usually do in French, okay, and after that you will add your ending. Je lirai. All right, so the rule goes like, if you've got final then you take it away, you've got your form here, L-I-R, and then you add your ending, A-I-S, je lirai, okay? So you've got three forms here, and they're actually the, well, conditional présent forms. Je parlerai, je finirai, je lirai, okay? Parler is to talk or to speak, finir to finish or to end, lire to read, okay? So the endings now. So we saw that previously that, well, the ending for je will be, the ending for je will be A-I-S, okay? The ending for tu will be, well, the same, A-I-S. The ending for il, elle will be A-I-T, okay? The good news is that even if we write them differently, like you see here, we pronounce them the same way. And it goes like e, e, e. All right? So as usual in French, what you pronounce, well, it's not that difficult in a way, but then remember how to write them. A-I-S for je, A-I-S for tu, A-I-T for il, elle. So now let's see nous, and nous goes like I-O-N-S, okay, and it should be pronounced ion. Remember, final S is not pronounced. Ion, okay. Then for vous, it goes like I-E-Z, and it goes like ye, okay. Remember, when you get this I before, it goes like ye, 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 okay, ye. So that's the reason why we had this ion here, and then ye. All right, and the last one, so even if it looks scary because you've got three vowels here and then NT, okay, A-I-E-N-T, so as usual, that's the way you should write it, but then phonetically, the good news is that you pronounce it E. So the same way that we had here, E here, E, and then E. Okay, so let's pronounce them, E, 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 yon, ye, e. So if you look carefully, you've got only three phonetical pronunciation. The first one is here and here. It's the same. So it's e. After that, we've got this yon. And after that, we've got this ye. All right? So let's see now for parler. Parler, it's to speak or to talk. Okay, so je parlerai. Tu parlerais, il parlerait, elle parlerait, nous parlerions, vous parleriez, il parlerait, elle parlerait. Second example, choisir from the second group of verbs. Choisir is to choose. Je choisirais, tu choisirais, il choisirait, elle choisirait, nous choisirions, vous choisiriez, il choisirait, elle choisirait. Okay, not that difficult. And the last example, so for the third group, it's écrire. Écrire is to write. Okay, so same rule, if you remember, the example was with lire, to read, but then it's exactly the same rule. So if you look carefully, it's ending with the this okay? So you take it away, and after that you put the ending. J'écrirai, tu écrirais, il écrirait, elle écrirait, nous écririons, vous écririez, ils écriraient, elles écriraient. Alright, so it's not that difficult anyway. But of course, we've got some exceptions, as I said in the beginning. So the idea for these exceptions is that the verb will change. So endings will be the same, so that's one good news. So all the endings that we saw previously, well, they will be the same, but then you've got to remember the way the verb will change. So if you saw, that's the reason why I spoke about the future lesson. If you saw the future lesson and you remember the way these verbs are changing for the future, the good news is that they will be changing the same way. So être will become sœur. All right? And then after that, you will have to put the endings. Je serai. All right? So you will keep this sœur all the time for your conjugation. And after that, you will add all the endings that we saw. Okay? Avoir will become or. Same thing here. After that, you will add all the endings. So, tu aurais. Aller will become ir. And you'll get il irait, elle irait. Faire will become faire. Nous ferions. Savoir will become sort. Vous sauriez. Voir will become vers. Il verrait, elle verrait. Okay, so let's see them one more time. So être, to be, je serais. Avoir, to have, tu aurais. Aller, to go, il irait, elle irait. Faire, to do, nous ferions. Savoir, to know, vous sauriez. Voir, to see, il verrait, elle verrait. All right, so one more list of exceptions. Pouvoir will become pour. Je pourrais. Vouloir will become voudre. Tu voudrais. Pleuvoir will become pleuvre. Il pleuvrait. Devoir will become d'œuvre. Nous devrions. Venir will become viendre. Vous viendriez. Courir will become court. Il courrait, elle courrait. Alright, so let's see them one more time. Pouvoir, can. Je pourrais. Vouloir, to want. Tu voudrais. Pleuvoir, to rain. Il pleuvrait. Devoir, to have to. Nous devrions. Venir, to come. Vous viendriez. Courir, to run. Il courrait, elle courrait. All right? So, it was the first thing regarding the conditionnel présent, and then, as I said, regarding the fact that it's quite close to the future, so the important thing is to remember that the endings for the future are AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. Okay, but then for the conditionnel présent, if you remember them, it was AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. So to be totally honest, if you think about that, because basically we construct these two tenses the same way, okay, so the endings here and here will be the only way to make the difference between the future and the conditional. So it's quite important to really remember them by heart. Okay, so remember future, A-I, A-S-A, O-N-S, E-Z, O-N-T, but then conditionnel présent, A-I-S, A-I-S, A-I-T, I-O-N-S, I-E-Z, A-I-E-N-T. Okay? And now let's see when we should use this conditionnel présent, because that's the most important thing. The first situation would be to express a desire or a wish. Exprimer un désir ou un souhait. Okay? J'aimerais être en vacances. Aimer, to like or to love. Okay? And here you've got the conditional form. Être, to be. En vacances, on vacation, holidays. J'aimerais être en vacances. Second use will be if you want to donner un conseil, to give an advice. Vous devriez apprendre le français. Okay, devoir, to have to, but then in that case when you say vous devriez, you should. That would be the more correct translation. Vous devriez apprendre, apprendre is to learn, le français, French. And then if you want to ask something politely, that's the tense you should definitely use. And especially if you go in a coffee restaurant or if you go in a shop and you want to ask for something, then use this conditional form. I mean, trust me, it's quite important. Okay? Je voudrais un café, s'il vous plaît. Okay? Je voudrais un café, s'il vous plaît. Okay? So let's read them one more time. J'aimerais être en vacances. Vous devriez apprendre le français. Je voudrais un café, s'il vous plaît. Another use of this conditionnel présent is if you want to construct a sentence, like in English, for instance, with this if. Okay? So if in French is si. And then the rule is quite strict in French. If you start with this if, si, then it should be followed by the imperfect form. We didn't see this form yet. It will come in the next lesson or in the next unit, sorry. So no stress about that. It's just an example, but it's just for you to know that if you want to construct this if structure, then it should be followed by imparfait. Then comes le conditionnel. Okay, so let's take one example. Si j'avais le temps, je ferais du sport. Okay, so si j'avais le temps, so if I had, it's the same in English. You put this I had. Si j'avais le temps, so time, je ferais. Remember, it was faire, to do, but then at the conditionnel form, du sport. Okay. Another example. Si j'étais riche, so riche, rich, était, it's to be, remember. Je voyagerais, voyager is to travel, autour du monde, around the world. Oops. And then the last one. Si elle était là, so être, to be, là, here, nous irions, so remember it was to go, aller, and it becomes ir, irions, nous promener. Okay, so se promener, to have a walk. Okay, that's it. I hope it was clear. Have a great day. The YouTube channel is here and the website is here and it's waiting for you. Bye bye.